Here's my question about the British election, where the Conservative Party lost its majority in Parliament. Did terror play a role in that election? Steve Hilton, former strategy director for Prime Minister David Cameron, is here. Good morning to you, Steve. How you doing?
I'm great, Stuart. It's good to be with you. I loved your discussion just now. I totally agree with where you're coming from. They've got to get on with it in Congress, but I am really sceptical that anything's going to get done. Anyway, I know we're going to talk about the UK, but just wanted to say you're so right to push on that.
Thanks for chiming in. There may be a little delay here, so the conversation might not flow nice and freely, but here's my question. Theresa May took a strong stand on terror 2 days before the election. Maybe that was just too late, because she kind of lost votes and certainly lost seats in the Commons. Was it because of terror?
I think that it was clear that she made a complete mess of this whole campaign, and I do think terror was one part of it, because what you saw in this campaign were 2 horrific attacks which revealed really dramatic failures of the policing and security system, a system that she presided over. She was in charge of fighting terror, not just as Prime Minister, but for 6 years before that, as the equivalent of Homeland Security Secretary. And people were just so angry at these terrorists getting through. And her response was weak. And she said, oh, enough is enough, and we've got to do something about it now. Well, hang on a second, you've been in charge for 7 years. And I think that did play a part, but it wasn't just that, it was also that she came across as so weak and uninspiring on the campaign trail. And so I think it was a combination of things, including her own really poor performance.
Now, look at the other side of the coin, which was the socialist leader of the Labour Party acquired 9.5% more votes than he'd taken in the previous election. Young people and minorities voted socialist. I find that extraordinary. I'd like you to explain it, Steve.
Well, I think that what you saw with the support for Jeremy Corbyn, who many people had written off as totally unelectable, kind of Bernie Sanders without the charisma, was actually the same kind of populist sentiment that we've seen here, that actually fueled a lot of Bernie's support. Remember, Bernie Sanders had huge support from young people in the election, in the primary against Hillary Clinton. But actually at the heart, I think, of the UK populism on the left, Jeremy Corbyn's appeal, was a clear pitch to give them money. It was about student finances. It was a very clear offer, as it were, to young people to say, we will help pay for your higher education, which the previous Labour and Conservative governments had started to require people to make a contribution towards. He said, no, it's going to be free. And that was a really simple message that cut through and appealed to young people.
What a mess. But Steve Hilton, I would like to remind you that you started out in the Fox family on Varney and Company. I gave you your start.
I know.
And look at you now.
That's
You've
right.
got your own show on the Fox News channel called The Next Revolution with Steve Hilton, Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll take the check when it comes in the mail, Steve Hilton. Thank you very much for joining.
Well, if you come and join us, I'll hand it over in person, Stuart.
Ooh, I might just do that. Hilton, you're all right. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again later. Thank you.